So, continuing on the custom card review streak, today is actually a pretty special day. It's my birthday today. I don't know if I'm going to do a live stream today. It's 50-50. I may or may not do a live stream today. I think I did one last year at night when I had got out of work and got like the little ice cream cake, and then like I showed it on stream. That was pretty cool. I did it on YouTube also. So we have a Yardrat Vegeta made by Dunstick. If you guys want to go ahead and send your cards to me, the email is right above my head at bhdevcustomcards@gmail.com. Hope you guys are all having a good day. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. So Dun says, I ain't even gonna lie, I found some art that I thought was cool and built a card off of it. It's a cool what if of Yardrat Vegeta, so I fleshed it out, borrowed some art and some ideas here and there, and this is what I made. Still think you make some killer content. Thank you so much, Don. I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, bro. Keep up the good stuff. I really appreciate that. So, Yardrat Vegeta, I have his 200% skill just pulled up and ready to go. A timeline shattered LR Vegeta Extreme Int. So, his leader skill is Entrusted Will or Gifted Warriors, 4 key and 170% across the board, and his 30% of the stats is 2 Hybrid Saiyans, Pure Saiyans, or Namekians. So taking a look at this team at first glance, it's like you have UI Goku, you have Ultimate Gohan, you have Beast Gohan, you have Broly, you got the Future Gohan who can still make work, right? You have both the 6 years, you have Orange Piccolo, you can make work in like certain scenarios. Who else do we have here? We do have the Saiyan Day Vegeta, the little SSJ Vegeta. We also have, I know I'm skipping over some options. You have Tech Ultimate Gohan. You have I don't know, in Gotenks. You have the Super Easy A Gotenks down. You have the little Sub Easy A Vegeta right over here. I probably skipped over a couple of characters, but this team is pretty much carried by its top heavy characters. I know Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. He's right over here. I glanced over him. Okay. So, with that being stated, that is his leader skill, and it is carried by the top heavy cards that are on his categories. So, his passive, Surprise Arrival, he has an interesting animation, of course, and he raises his attack and defense by 25%, and he also gets counters on normal attacks with Ferocious Power, which is a 400% multiplier on counter. He also gets 80% damage reduction for 5 turns when you have a ally whose name is Trunks Teen, or a Future Gohan, which of course you're going to have a Future Gohan right over here. Yeah, so pretty much there's your Future Gohan, so you can get that free 80% damage reduction. No, it's on normals. Yeah, he has 80% damage reduction on normals. Yeah, let me just point that out. I completely glanced over the normal attacks. So yes, he has 80% damage reductions. 80% damage reduction on normal attacks for 5 turns. You just have to run a Future Gohan or a Trunks Teen. So 4 key and 250% attack and defense to start a battle, very substantial. He also gets 150% attack when attacking, which is going to help out his counters. He also has a baseline 30% chance to dodge, and he raises his attack by 15% and defense by 10%, with each attack dodge from 15% attack up to 150% attack, and 10% defense up to 100% defense. And he also gets dodge chance with each attack he takes. He gets 5% chance to dodge, all the way up to a 50% for each attack received. So that shouldn't be, it should be very easy for him to build that up, considering that he has that damage reduction from normals. Kind of like AGL, Super Vegito, Physical Super Vegito, so on and so forth. So he also gets guard with 5 or less attacks received, so he's pretty much going to have that guard before, of course, when he's building up his dodge. And he also gets 4% damage reduction, just outright damage reduction, not damage reduction on normals. He gets 4% damage reduction per attack dodged in the turn. Okay, that's pretty interesting, considering that he gets that, if for whatever reason he's able to get that 30% chance to dodge to proc, rather than him just take the normals for the counters. I'm pretty certain, can't counter units still do counters when they dodge? I'm pretty certain they can. I could be wrong. Alright, so he also gives Entrusted Will or Gifted Warriors category allies 10% attack and defense per attack dodge within a turn. I gotta just go ahead and point that out. Of course, it's in the turn. He also gets an additional 30% attack per attack dodge in the turn by this character or an ally. Okay, so if an ally dodges, he gets 30% attack, or if he dodges, he gets 30% attack within a turn. A lot of within the same turn things, because he gets 4% damage reduction for each time he dodges within the turn. He also gives a support type buff to Entrusted Will as well as the Gifted Warriors characters within a turn per attack dodged. And he also gets additional attack as he dodges. He also gets an attack buff when he attacks. Like he gets, what's that? I believe it was, what was it? I think it was 150%. I had to skim through it again. It was 150% attack when he's attacking. So that's going to definitely help out his counters. And he also gets Keeper Keys are obtained, of course. And he also counters on all normal attacks and counters with Ferocious Power when Ki is 24. Interesting. Wait a minute. So, okay, let me finish reading this card before we go ahead and talk about it in just a second. So he counters all normal attacks and counters with Ferocious Power when Ki is 24. And he's also effective against all types when there's a Wicked Bloodline or Android category enemy. So that's pretty much the cherry on top for his card, just to have that little effective against all types when facing a specific enemy. So he's doing a lot of interesting things in his card. He has, like, let me go ahead and just skim all this stuff. So for this specific part of his card where he's giving support, he's building up damage reduction, and he's also getting free attack when he or ally dodges, is something very interesting for him within the turn. He's going to be a strong, he's like a strong presence on the team. Just getting free damage reduction. Granted, it's only 4% damage reduction. He's getting free damage reduction, giving support each time he dodges from 10% attack and defense. It's like the more he dodges, the more support he's going to be giving. Yeah, per attack dodge, because it says 10% attack and defense for Entrusted Will or Gifted Warriors characters per attack dodge. So I assume that builds up just indefinitely. It's just gonna go off assumption. And he also gets free attack as he dodges, so it's gonna definitely heighten how much damage his counters are going to be doing. And on top of that, he does have two separate dodge procs. He builds up to a 50% chance to dodge right over here, as well as him having a 30% chance to dodge right over here. So he has a 30% chance to dodge right here. He can essentially build up to a 50% chance to dodge right over here. And before he goes ahead and builds up that dodge chance, he has that guard. Yeah, he has the guard, provided he's going to be taking those attacks. And he also has damage reduction against normals for 5 turns as well, provided you just run a Trunks Teen or a future Gohan, which is going to be very, very easy because you just run this guy. Okay, this card is definitely definitely a creative card, for sure. I do like the approach that Dunn went with this. I like the approach. Very interesting. Not quite understanding the little counter part right over here for his interest animation thing. The interest animation buff sort of thing, where he does a little interest animation, he gets the free 25% attack and defense, and he counters normals, and he also gets 80% damage reduction for 5 turns against normal attacks. So I like to assume he's only able to counter for within those 5 turns, because I don't see a comma. Yeah, I don't see a comma anywhere that's separating that. Interesting, because why would he only have counters for 5 turns, and then he would have just counters all normals easily for when he's at 24 key right over here. So yeah, at 24 key, essentially always gonna be countering normal attacks and just basically giving back damage and ferocious power. I didn't think of the word. I couldn't figure out the word to say there. Anyways, his 12 key, display of power, and it's a strike. He stacks attack, which is, wow, that's definitely going to do wonders for his counters. Let me see. He only has 4 key here. He doesn't have much key in his passive. Okay, so he only has 4 key. He only has 4 key, and he's keeper keys for obtained. Okay, we're gonna have to get to his link set in just a moment. So it's 12 key, he stacks attack and gains 30% defense for 4 turns, as well as doing colossal damage, greatly reducing defense. So he greatly lowers enemy defense, as well as having a 50% chance to crit for 3 turns. Wow, that's a loaded 12 key, like gaining a multi-turn defensive buff, as well as stacking attack as a counter unit. Yeah, that's a loaded 12 key. And then his 18 key, the Risky Gallic Gun, which is a key type super attack. He stacks defense and gains 50% attack for 4 turns. Does mega colossal damage to enemy, Mastery lowers their attack and defense, and has a 50% chance to crit for 3 turns. He has very loaded 12 and 18 key super attack effects. Very loaded. Absolutely. Now, he doesn't have additional super attack chance to help him stack up his attack faster, what I noticed. His card is basically banking off of him receiving attacks, as well as dodging to get his within the same turn buffs, as well as being able to buff your allies. He's crutched off of his counters, as well as dodging and taking attacks. Just about. Okay. So, his standby skill switches to Goku and Piccolo for 5 turns, and can be activated when 10 or more attacks are dodged in battle. Okay. That is a lot of attacks to dodge for this card. Or when 4 turns have elapsed in battle. Okay, so or when 4 turns. Okay, so you can just do it for 4 turns. That's easy. Okay. Or, excuse me, when there is a Goku or Piccolo on the team and this character has taken or dodged 6 attacks in battle. I don't really... Okay, so just 4 turns. I don't get the other restrictions. Yeah, I don't really get the other restrictions. Because, yeah, you just want the 4 turns. I mean, because 10 attacks. This card is not... This card's not dodging 10 attacks. Like, within the first couple of turns, depending on what boss they're going against. Yeah, 10 attacks, that's a lot for this card to dodge. Okay. As well as the Goku and Piccolo thing, when they taken or dodge 6 attacks in battle. Well, you could get a turn where the enemy's attacking a lot in this card. You know what? Okay, I get this. But the 10 attacks thing, yeah, that's a lot for this card to ask for. Yeah, because at worst you can probably get this by turn 5. Anyways, so his link set: Saiyan Warrior Race, Prodigies, Royal Lineage, Saiyan Pride, Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. No Prepared for Battle. Considering that this card is not getting a lot of key from its kit. Yeah, I'd probably say this card definitely needs a bit more key in its kit, because you really want that 24 key to get that, just that counter off, provided you run out of the counters and the damage reduction against normals. Anyways, let's go ahead over to the standby, which is the Goku and Piccolo Super Int. So they're passive, running on fumes, 150% attack, just baseline. And they also get 300% defense for 4 turns at the start of first appearance, which is obviously nice for them. 2 Keeper Keys to obtain. I really like that. I feel like Vegeta should have had that, just like they have it. Raises attack by 25% per key sphere obtained. Wow, so this card is going to be doing disgusting damage. And they change all key spheres on the field to int key spheres for 5 turns at the start of appearance. Reduces damage received by self and allies by 3.5% per key sphere obtained in battle for 4 turns at the start of appearance. Guards all attacks for 4 turns from the start of appearance. 200% attack when first to gain key orbs. Launches an additional super when there is a Wicked Bloodline or Android's enemy, or all allies on the team are entrusted with a Gifted Warriors category, which is going to be very easy because you're going to essentially build a full team with all these characters. 75% HP recovered, well, just revives with 75% HP recovered when the character or an ally in the same turn is KO'd once only, and gains 175% attack when finish effect is activated. So I'm going to tell you this for free, right? Goku and Piccolo. Can we just very freely say that Goku and Piccolo just shit on Yardrat Vegeta? Can we? I look at what this card is doing within the few amount of turns that it's here. This standby, what? So, just to run it back, right? 300% defense. Okay. 2 key per key sphere obtained. 25% attack per key sphere obtained. So they're already doing a mega, just ridiculous fuck ton of damage. Changes all key spheres on the field to int for 5 turns. So that means you're always going to be recovering HP, and you're getting 25% attack with all those key spheres. You're nuking for free. You're changing the entire key field just easily. Oh, what? So they're a orb changer that gets 2 key per keystore obtained. They have 300% defense. They nuke. They have a revive. They're guarding. They're giving damage reduction as well as they're giving damage reduction support to their allies as well as they're giving it to themselves. Like, what? 200% defense? No, excuse me. 200% attack when they first get... What? The standby is bananas, bro. Just bananas. And their super attack effects, their 12 key, the all-out assault, which is a strike, they greatly stack attack, do colossal, disable enemy action once within a turn, and have a 30% chance to crit. Brother, they're greatly stacking attack. That's 50% attack that they're stacking. And then the 18 key, they're called the special beam cannon. It's a strike, of course. 100%. They're stacking 100% attack each turn. Massively stacking attack. That's 100%. Mega colossal damage. Disabling enemy action once within a turn. A 30% chance to crit for 3 turns. And massively lowering attack and defense. So not only is their passive just outright ridiculous, but both of their super attack effects are just like overtuned. Too good. Way too good. And the finish attack, the max power, instant transmission, final flash to keep counters with super intense power against the enemy who KO'd the character or an ally attacking the same turn. Activate it when the revival skill is used. All attacks for the rest of the turn become crits. Mega Colossal is 200%. Super Intense is 500%. Which is what the GT Duo has for their revival, which it says inside the little parentheses at the bottom. And this is the little, I guess, the little image that he displayed for us. Guys, this unit has a revive. They have a guaranteed super just built into them, just for free, because you're going to be running the Entrusted Will / Gifted Warriors characters. 200% attack here when they first get key. Guarding for 4 turns, damage reduction support, as well as giving himself damage reduction per key store obtained, just bonkers. Changing the entire field to in key spheres and nuking with it for 4 whole turns. Alright, 300% defense 2 for 4 turns as well. As well as starting out with 150% attack. This standby is just bonkers. I like the design of Vegeta, but the standby is just what? Okay. This is the Link set in Fighter, Shocking Speed, Toughest Nails, Experienced Fighter, Solid Support, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. These are the categories as shown. Crossover, Pure Saiyans. Crossover. Because Yardrat Vegeta, I guess. And this is the stats for all my stat junkies that want to go crazy. Okay. So, done. You went bananas. You went crazy. I think that's going to be about it for me. If you want to go ahead and send me a custom card, the email's right above my head. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be doing a birthday stream today. I don't know. If you see one, just pull up if you see one. If you don't, then we'll definitely be doing a live stream either... I think we might do one tomorrow on Twitch. Because I did a test live stream last week. And I want to do one live stream on Twitch weekly. Okay, so I think that's about it. I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are the best. Join the 24/7 Discord server. The link is down below in the description for you guys to join. And just, hey, come to our great community. And thank you guys all inside the Dokkan Discord server for the birthday wishes. I thank you guys. Peace.